So, so yeah, I was looking at the YouTube video, whatever they do, and I see that it's a way to put sections in the YouTube because I don't like talking about subjects too long. You see, most of the videos are only so many minutes, but I see I could put sections so that sectionalize them and make them longer and just go in sections. So the thing I was looking at right now, what made me come up with this idea to do that, at least for now, is I'm talking about the ingenuity of nature. I mentioned before about the herbs and the culinary uses of medicinal herbs and the medicinal uses of culinary herbs and the culinary uses of medicinal herbs. Now I want to talk about the coconut. I just I just cut me a coconut and draining the water. So I'm going to drink the water of the coconut, right? And I just drained the water. Most of it I drank and put it on the slow drill. The coconut water. This is why I came on, because of the coconut water. And the coconut and the ingenuity of nature, right? Okay, so see the coconut? This part of the coconut, this is a real coconut, right? Off the tree kind of thing. I cut it open just to draw the water out for now. But the edges around the, the, the thing that encompasses the actual coconut, the nut is inside. It's a hard nut. Can you hear it? It's a hard nut. Some people don't know what a coconut is, man. Don't get tripping. So it's inside. The hard nut is inside, and then the water is inside the nut. It's like a big fruit, and it has some whiteness inside. It grows that. They call it jelly. It depends on what stage you find it in, because as the coconut grows, the white part inside goes through changes. At this point, it's still sort of gelato. It hardens up and becomes more like everybody knows coconut from coconut this and coconut that kind of whatever when they sell coconut, the gritty stuff. And okay, so now the three parts of just the fruit. I'm not talking about the tree yet. The fruit of the coconut. So I showed you the outside, the bark, where the thing that encompasses the nut itself. This is called uh, cocoa core. Cocoa core, the outside of the coconut, right, can be it is already being stripped down, and it makes paper and rope from the cocoa core. But it's mostly used for growing plants. Cut it up fine, or at least finer, to like a mulch, and then put it in the potted plants. This is what potted plants, mostly that stuff is. It's cocoa core. Mostly people throw it away. And then the industrialists, of course, they are cutting it up, and then make it do things, which is what I do. I make everything do something. So that's what I'll do, cut it up and put it in the garden, make something. Cocoa core. Now the inside. The white inside, especially when it's a hard nut and you crack it and that white inside is in there, that's the coconut most people are familiar with. But this particular coconut, and then even then it has water. Let me talk about the water because that's on my mind right now. Coconut water can come straight out of the coconut. You could take a hose straight out of the coconut and stick it straight into your veins. hmm It's the most it's the okay. It's the natural most. How do you put it? It has almost everything blood has. As a short-term infusion, it saves lives. I learned that through a movie, so I ain't real mad about movies because I learned it through a movie. The guy was in the movie and he injected the guy with the coconut, and of course, you know me, I went and looked it right up to see if that's real, and found out, yeah, that's real. Not only is it real, it's been going on for centuries. We've been doing that for centuries, taking the coconut water and injecting when person need that. But we lost a lot of culture, a lot of information. They burned our towns, our cities, all over the place, man. It ain't just here and there and there. And all that noise I be hearing. All over the world, they destroyed our culture and our records. Whatever way we kept them, our people, devastated whole neighborhoods, burned them down, flooded them out. Hey, you know the story. I'm just telling you. So a lot of stuff we don't know, but nature has all this information because we are natural beings, and that's what we are. So we are natural beings. We're not human beings. They say hue because they tried to confuse stuff. H-U-E means hue, like a color or something like that. But the word human comes from H-E-W, which means hue, like to cut. You find some stuff before the 1800s or 1900s. They'll tell you what human is. Anyway, now it's become like, a catchphrase and everybody think they're human. I am not no damn human. Cancel that right now. Okay, so here we go. I got the coconut drain because I was thinking, man, I am hungry, but I wanted to have something that's good. This stuff, coconut water. I know some people drink it every day. The stuff is just invigorating. What I mean by invigorating is it gives you vitality. By vitality, I mean it builds up the strength of your life and your liveliness, right? Coconut water. So the thing I'm talking about, I got to check my notes because, hey, I got notes. Right. Ah, I was saying before, what's more important, even just now, is what we are, not who we are. I hear people saying, who we are, we this, we that. I know who I am, all that. I hope you do, love. I really do. I know who I am. I think that frog know who it is, too. Imagine that. The little baby that's born today, they know who they are, too. What they are, now they may not know yet. Like you don't know what you are. You think you're human. Because they're telling you that mostly you're thinking you're human because they're telling you mostly that you're not. And so now you want to be. It's classic psych out, what they call it, reverse psychology garbage, man. I ain't no damn human. Get out of here with that. So now, this is what we are. We're light encapsulated in a body. And we're here to have fun. That's what we were doing, having fun. That's why they're so fucking mad. We were having fun. Look up anything. I just did a video. I just sent a video around that I saw on the YouTube by somebody. I'll put the thing underneath here, my own video. I'm going to put their video so you can see it. And the dude was showing the 1940, 1950, 1400s, 1300s. Because he said, like, what were we doing before this Columbus sailed the ocean blue, scenario? So it's very interesting. I'm going to put it in here. You look at it, see what you make of it. Because all this stuff is what you make of it. It doesn't matter what it is. It's what you make of it. You could show a person a green, a photograph of something green, and they'll see it as blue. You can show them a photograph of something yellow, or not even a photograph. I got fabrics like that I wear. I wear these fabrics. And people be saying, is that orange? Is that, they don't know if it's yellow, orange. They don't know what the colors are. Some people have different color perceptions. See, we have to get used to all the reality of reality first, because now we are used to the reality of make believe. All this stuff you believe. You believe this, you believe that. That's make believe. It's called make believe. Make believe, man. Come on, that's what it is. We did it as children. Make believe you this and you that. So we're gonna make believe. We've been in a world of make believe. And that's what's going on. So we don't really know what's real because we're in make believe. A belief is a powerful thing. And as children, when we were doing that make believe, we were using a powerful tool that we come here with called imagination. Imagination. You know, imagination, where you generate a image and then cause it to create. But as a child, first you have to learn to generate the image. And then as an adult, a bigger person, like, you learn to create that image generate. Mm. So now what we're doing is running around in circles about what we are. So I did the part about the ingenuity of nature. Now I want to go to what we are. I did what we are. I'm into that now. Breaking this down into parts. Ooh, because I got another piece. I got another piece or two that I want to put in here because I'm getting a rush of information and stuff like that. I want to keep it moving. I'll come back to that later. But the biggest thing that I found, my brother turned me on to this. My youngest older brother. All my brothers are older than me, but he's the youngest one. He turned me on to a prayer that I want to turn everyone on to. 2 words. Count them. Itchy knee. 2 words. Thank you. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just thank you. Just that gratitude. Nothing. Not thank you this, thank you to that, or thank you about this. It don't matter. Nothing else. Just the 2 words. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for life. If you want to go through that kind of stuff as far as what you're saying, thank you for, but thank you to, leave that alone. You can't even touch that. Even you can't even touch that. Just leave it alone. Just say thank you. Thank you is that imbues you with the spirit of gratitude. Let me tell you something about spirits. Spirits are imbuements in the body, are the things and all that kind of stuff. These are what we call spirit. You got a spirit, I got a spirit. Man, shoot, I might have 8 or 9 spirits. Get out of here. As far as spirits go, so I'm just saying about spirits. So you can kind of get with what I'm saying about what we are versus we're not human. A human, the first thing a human to tell you is right. You already know it. No one's perfect. Humans are not perfect. We are perfect. I am perfect. I am perfectly me. I tell you what, nobody can be me more perfectly. Imagine that. Check this out. I am perfect. Why? Because I was created perfect by a creator who creates everything. Did I just say everything? Everything perfectly. Now, if I'm not created by the creator, then maybe, I'm not perfect. I was created by the creator, then therefore I am perfect. I need to look at this thing again. I am perfect. Even my mistakes are perfect. You got to understand, sometimes what our minds say, do this. But another thing occurs, and we call it a mistake. Right. I understand that. That's because we are on the dichotomy move in our heads. We on this, you know, that human concept thing. So we think that if it doesn't go the way we plan, it's a mistake. However, it goes the way the Creator plans, there is no mistake. The mistake would be trying to force it. You done did it yourself. If you're over 30 years old, everybody that's over 30 has done it themselves. Try to force an issue. that the Creator just ain't going with. It just ain't happening. And you up there trying to make it. And you be thinking why it ain't going through. It's simple. It should be working. And the Creator ain't with it yet. The Creator bringing it in a different way. You think it should go this way, and the Creator bringing it in from that way. And a lot of times, it's already in front of your face. You're just looking for it to be in a certain package, in a certain a certain package. I don't know what else, embodiment. And so we looking for it to be like that. Like some people up there, like, oh, our Savior's coming from the sky. Your Savior might have just rolled up the street on you in a Mercedes Benz, but you missed it because why you are expecting your Savior to come from the sky. You get what I'm saying? You have to open up yourself. You want a Savior. I'm saved for what I say. But if you want a Savior, then just say that and let the Savior arrive however it comes. Stop trying to make it be it ain't right. The Creator sent me a Savior, but that ain't the Savior I want. Hey, that's why you're still in misery and all that kind of stuff. If you're there, because some people are happy, man. Some people got this thing. I got this, man. I'm on it. Some people even they be on these YouTubes and stuff telling people, man, I got this and this is how you get it. And they be telling you how to get it. I suggest you follow them as far as their line of thought. Just the line of thought. See how far it gets you. Ain't no problem with that. I follow hundreds of lines of thought. See where they go. Why not? I know where I am. I know what I am. I don't have to be really cautious. I'm in the hands of the Creator. Whoever is not, I don't know what you're doing. How did you get here? So what you scared about leaving? You don't even know how you got here, but you're scared about having to leave. Get out of here. That don't even make no sense. Be happy that you're here, baby, experiencing this beautiful life. Life is beautiful. All the beautiful smells, the beautiful tastes and stuff. I'm saying nature is a hell of a thing. Nature has said, just the coconut itself, it's like, wow. And then I was looking at a banana, orange, got them little thick, oh man, nature kicking. Nature is kicking. I don't know what y'all talking about, but nature is kicking. If nature is female, that's my mother. All right, no problem. Nature is kicking. Y'all need to learn how to see what's going on. Come out of the falsity of the square block houses and then since I'm on that the square block, this is going to go a minute. Since I'm on the square block houses now, because I didn't went through that nasty, I'll separate it later. The square block houses. Almost everybody lives in the square block houses. Clean the corners. I told you last time to clean your navel. Watch me. Something you done had all this time, but you never necessarily paid attention to. Not everybody. I know that some people do. I'm like, what? The percent. Y'all the 5%ers? I don't know. You might be 50%. What about the other 50% that's not? That's who I'm talking to then. Sit down, relax. Everything's cool. In your little square house in them corners, things live in them corners, vibration, spirits, all them things. They get in that corner and just swirl in that corner, man. They got a spot to live. I'll tell you what else is in there. Roaches, rats, all kind of other vermins and varmints. Because a rat is a bad thought with legs. I figured that shit. A rat is a nasty, evil thought. Thought now. With legs. I'm just running around. I'm telling you what I've seen. I'm out here in this nature for a few years now, and I'm telling you what nature is revealing to me. Nature revealed to me that 1 plus 1 in nature now almost never equals 2. Almost never, I say, because I'm still living. I might see it happen. I haven't seen it happen yet. Not in nature. 1 plus 1 don't equal 2. You can throw that out. That's in that square box you're in. You're living in a square box, don't even know you're in the box. You're living in the box. Open the door, go in the box, come out of the box. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just saying, Clean the corners of the box, man. Open them up, spray them out, get you some sage brush. You can use tobacco's a good chaser too. Mm, mm. Incense, you see the incense thing, like be like, because I was cleaning my house one day or somewhere I was cleaning, and the little boy said, "Oh, you look like a priest cleaning the corners." But that's what he see the vision in his mind. He related it to. So I'm telling you, clean out the corners of your house, especially. Clean the corners, behind the doors, all that stuff. Things are hiding back there. Bad thoughts, ugly things. Then they mostly ugly spirits and stuff encapsulated in physical form. You say human. Human not that damn important. Humans are, hey, spirits that are encapsulated inside them humans. Now, there you go. We into something. So now, the same thing with the rats and roaches and all them other nasty things that come around and hang around when you're not clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness, is the way I grew up. Anybody else grew up like that, huh? Anybody else? Hey, the audience. Anybody else grew up like that? Cleanliness is next to godliness. I'm just saying. It is. That's the way we grew up. Cleanliness is next to godliness. If you want to see a place that's ungodly, see how messy and dirty it is. Yeah, I hear people talking about the ghetto. Okay, you're in the ghetto. I'm in the ghetto. It don't matter. We in the ghetto. The first thing you do when you go to the ghetto is clean the bitch up. Otherwise, guess what? You'll be in the ghetto the rest of your life. Your children will be in the ghetto. As soon as you get there, clean it up. I moved to a ghetto on purpose. People say, why you living there? I did on purpose. I lived in the ghetto on purpose. I didn't have to. There were other places. I moved from places to move there. And the people I was dealing with, why are you living there, Wale? Because I want to show the people how to live culturally. You just bring some money, that ain't nothing, nobody see nothing. So I'm there every day. I clean the whole street. Cleanliness is next to godliness every day. I did it so religiously. People ask me, did I get paid by the school or somebody else on the block to do it? Because I cleaned both sides of the street. The side the school was on where the children went, and I'm thinking to myself, man, them children don't need to walk through that mess every day going to school. Come on. What a, my child got to go somewhere, anywhere, every day like that, through the jungle, through whatever. I'm going to cut them a path. I just let them, oh yeah, go through the jungle and, yeah, the other kids go through there. You just work it out. What? So every day, and none of them children were mine, birth children. They're all little colored children. Some of them spoke Spanish, some of them, whatever. It don't matter. They're children. I cleared the area every day. Not just for the children, but because I live there. And the children see that. The place clean. They go through all that ghetto to get to this school, and they go in the school, and then only in the school is clean. They come out before they can even get to the bus or whatever mode of transportation. They're already walking across trash and garbage as though that is their due. That's nature or natural. No, it's normal, but it ain't nowhere near natural. So yeah, I do it now. If I sit somewhere long enough, I'm going to clean the area, man. I'm not sitting in no trash. How you do that? Just sit around in trash playing pinochle or fucking dominoes or fucking any kind of anything. Just sitting around trash. I saw the, what's the name of them? The drug boys. They use the trash to hide their drugs, right? So they have trash around so they can hide their drugs, and nobody really knows which, you know what I mean, what's up. That's how they did when I lived in the ghetto. I would go around and check them, you know, ask them stuff. I asked one boy, I said, hey man, I took him some fruit. They selling drugs on the corner. So I took him some fruit. I said, hey man, when's the last time you ate some fruit? That was such a foreign concept to him. He couldn't remember ever, this right here in the United States, ever. That's how foreign concept it was to him. Maybe he did, I ain't saying he did, but he couldn't remember. That's how long it's been. He didn't know what kind of fruit did you eat. Like, I don't know. He had no idea. He'd been eating out of paper bags and Mr. Chin's store all his life. That's natural, normal, normally natural. Normally natural. I guess, I don't know, but it's not natural. Nature got nothing to do with nature. But that's what he's doing on a normal basis, and that's what our people are being taught to do on a normal basis. And I'm saying to you now, look at it. Think about it for 10 or 15 seconds. No one has to teach you a whole lot of this and that and the other and stuff. Just look at the world for what it really is, and without the cover or the glitter board showing you what it is. Go look at a tree. Open an orange with seeds. Let me tell you about the seeds, okay? This is nature. Nature. I say in nature, rarely does 1 plus 1 equal 2 in nature. This is nature. If the definition of the word fruit, you probably never even thought about it, looking up the word fruit. I can dig it. The definition of the word fruit includes this caveat: it must have seeds. So this fruitless, seedless fruit is not fruit. For all you healthy people who think you're eating fruit, a fruit makes seeds. Check it out. Google. Everything I say is Googleable. I'm going to put a whole video on Googleable because that's my word. I'm going to time date it or something so everybody will know that's my word, Googleable. This is the second time I mentioned it in a video, but I just want to put out one video on Googleable because every damn thing I say is Googleable. Most of the time, you just got to know how to ask for the answer. This is in anything, though. This is in everything. You can go out into the bush and you need something or you want something and you ask for it. But you have to know how to ask. The answer is right there in the bush. You could be standing right next to it. But you have to know how to ask so you can get the answer you want. That's how Google is. You have to know how to ask for what you're looking for. You don't have to know what you're looking for, but you have to know how to ask for it. You don't have to know exactly what you're looking for, like, oh, I got to know it. No. The only requirements are very simple. They're 1 through 9, and you're done. You can learn it in about 5 to 10, well, most people. I've seen people learn it in a lot short time because they already know out of 9, 1 to 9, they know some of them already, so they only have to learn 2, 5, and 8, and they done. You get me? So I'm just saying, this is how it goes. So now I'm going on to another subject because we finished that subject of thank you, because the universe is providing since the day, oh God, I say that like euphemistically or whatever, from before the day I was born. Eons. I don't even know how to put words to it. The universe has been providing. The Creator has been providing. The first thing you know when a person is not real is when they worry. One who worry is an outward manifestation of not trusting in your faith in the Creator. That's like saying, I wonder if the bridge is going to break down every time you cross the bridge. You want to do that? You want to live like that? I'm just saying. That's how the Creator is. Every day the Creator creates that day. That day is different than yesterday. Knowing that puts you ahead. Thinking it's the same old this and that because everything is in the same position that you can, let that go. Be grateful. Thank you. I'm saying thank you for listening. It's 30 minutes. I'm out of here, man. That's too much conversation for me. You know what I mean? A few minutes here and there.